The Patriots have flipped the switch to regular season preparation. Training camp is over. Monday marked the first practice of the 2020 NFL season. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Evan Lazar. A couple bits of news from Monday's practice. The first, running back Lamar Miller off the PUP list. Interesting timing right after the media no longer has eyes on the full practice and can't really evaluate the positions anymore because once regular season practice hits, you only get access to about the first 10-15 minutes of practice, which is usually stretching. Now Lamar Miller is able to participate. Do you think that's coincidence?
Not at all. Listen, this is a classic Bill Belichick move. I think the biggest, most notable one was back in 2007 when I personally think, and a lot of people think, that Bill Belichick made up an injury about Randy Moss so that he didn't have to be out there at training camp in front of the media. And Bill said, Randy's injured. We're not going to play him. Things get, the doors close. All of a sudden, week one, Randy Moss got 3 touchdowns and looks like, Hall of Fame Randy Moss. I'm not saying that's going to happen to Lamar Miller, obviously, but all I'm saying is this is a classic Belichick move to keep Lamar Miller on the PUP list through the media portion of training camp. Now we go into regular season practice rules. Let's bring the Corvette out of the garage, so to speak, and go for a ride. Jeff Thomas, I think, is in a similar category as well. We didn't really get to see a ton of him either. I think his speed, if you start to see that speed really translate out on the field, the tweets, the reports, all that type of stuff, if they want to sneak Jeff Thomas onto the practice squad, if they put him out there for the media to see how fast he really is and how effective his speed can be in pads, all of a sudden a lot of teams start reading that type of stuff and say, okay, this guy is legitimate. Let's go out and claim him, right? So I think Lamar Miller was more maybe about what they're going to do with him specifically in the offense if they do have a big plan in place here for him. And then with Jeff Thomas, I think it's a little bit of hiding him from the waiver wire so that if they do end up releasing him, they're able to get him on the practice squad.
Another piece of news out of practice on Monday, Cam Newton was not in attendance. However, it was an excused absence. We don't know the exact cause for his absence, but obviously approved by the team beforehand. We heard from a different quarterback, though, in Brian Hoyer, who had some interesting comments about the offense and how it really hasn't changed that much, even though Cam Newton is running away with the starting job. Did that surprise you at all?
It didn't, because I think Brian Hoyer's a little tongue-in-cheek right now, playing things close to the vest. He understands the game, right? He understands the game with the media, that if he comes out and tells me, hey, guess what? The whole offense is, we put it up in flames and it's entirely new playbook. He knows that that's not going to fly with Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels. So what we saw at practice were glimmers, or just kind of glimpses into what the Patriots offense is going to be. I'm sure similar to how they were hiding maybe Lamar Miller and Jeff Thomas, they were probably hiding a lot of what they're going to do schematically with Cam Newton under center. So I'm really not going to be all that surprised when we get to week one and we're seeing RPOs and zone read and different types of option quarterback type of stuff. That's what we saw glimmers of. I'm sure we'll see tons of it now that the season starts, and see it more and more and more as the season progresses, as they continue to drill it into the players and get everybody comfortable with those types of schemes. So I agree with Brian Hoyer to an extent that the foundation of the offense, the general concepts of the offense that we've seen over the last 20 years, is not going to change. This is going to be a dressed up version of the Tom Brady Patriots, but I think there are going to be packages installed that weren't necessarily in the Brady playbook, like RPOs, like zone read option plays, that we're going to see with Cam Newton moving forward, that maybe they were hiding and playing a little bit of tongue-in-cheek there with the media, with Brian Hoyer not coming out and saying, yeah, you know what, we're working on some things, just you wait. I think that that's sort of something that Bill Belichick would definitely frown upon.
Well, for all of our Patriots coverage, now that the regular season preparations have begun, you can find it on our website at clnsmedia.com. And as always, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Patriots Press Pass.
This segment has been brought to you by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code MAXWELL20 at manscaped.com. Take your grooming game to the next level.